y'all seen her. She's getting mic'd up. Reese Colbert, she, of course, has been sharing her thoughts on social media. Let's just say she cussed a whole bunch of people out today after news drop of Senator Harris dropping out. You've been one of her most ardent supporters. Not a good day for you. No, very tough day. But, you know, I had to give Senator Kamala Harris her props first, and then I cussed people out second, you know, because it's still a historic campaign that she's run. I'm incredibly proud of her. I think all of us in the K-Hive are. So I think, you know, I've been watching the show on the way up here, and I think we can talk about coulda, woulda, shouldas, but I'm very proud no matter what. What particularly ticked you off the most over the last several months with the criticism or attacks on her? Well, I call it Operation Block the Black Woman. And I think that when you look at the outsized social media attacks, she's received 68% of the social media attacks of all the candidates. And yet she's only received 3% of the media mentions. And there's no telling how much of those media mentions are actually positive versus negative. So I think that when we're talking about the level of attacks that she received versus the ability to counter those attacks, it just wasn't an even a level playing field. So that was the most frustrating part, is that she just didn't even have a level playing field at all. In addition to being a Black woman, just the sheer volume of attacks against her is very hard to surmount. She opened huge support. I think we should have the video, right, folks? When she opened her campaign, massive rally that took place in Oakland. Roll that if you have it, please. And again, this thing started off in a huge way. As somebody who's followed it, where do you think it veered off the path, from your perspective? I think there are a couple of things. I think you mentioned earlier she had the highest ratings in terms of her town halls. So the interest was there. I think that the media didn't want to feed that interest as much, and that's why her media mentions went down. But I do think that perhaps the debate with the moment with Joe Biden was a turning point. I call that back of the bus primary, where I think that people reacted very strongly to her challenging our history, our bucking up, I guess, as a Black woman, and saying, you know, hey, this is our history, and we're going to respect that and honor that. And I think that that got backlash from Black people as well as white people. So I think that once people started to realize, like, hey, that little girl was me, is a Black woman on the stage running for president, the energy kind of shifted a little bit. Which is why I made the point, Reese, you have to work it. It can't just be, I'm running and then I'm going to sort it out. No, you have. I just think that they missed an opportunity for 2 and 3 and 4 years to build that, and then all of a sudden I'm not starting anew, and now I'm starting anew with 24 other people. I mean, I definitely can concede that Vice President Biden has the relationships, but let's not mistake Biden's standing with Black voters with Biden's concern for Black voters. Because what is his Black agenda? I remember the day that Senator Kamala Harris announced you had ADOS, hashtag tangibles, where's your Black agenda? I've never seen them under Biden's posts, but Kamala Harris, what she did was she laid out a Black agenda. She had her entrepreneurship plan. She had her HBCU plan. She had her Black maternal mortality plan. What is Vice President Biden's plan for Black America? So him being on that stage certainly does not represent Black America. It might represent the fact that he has Black America's vote, according to the polls right now, but certainly he's not speaking to our issues. He's from our community. Really? Because I haven't seen anywhere at any point where he's ever addressed our issues in this race. Y'all bringing up thought was going to happen. Reese, you mentioned the folks who were targeting her, asking about her Black agenda, and some of these people, I see them on our YouTube channel, some other places. They're like, they say, yeah, but she said, you know, they sent out. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something specific that's only going to benefit Black people. Right. No, and so they're like, oh, they're claiming victory. These ADOS people are claiming victory that Kamala Harris dropped out as if they're the reason for it happening. Well, and you've been battling them just a little bit over the last several months. Well, and I actually debunked that specific clip because what she said before and after was that essentially, and this has been her message all along, which I agree with, is that when something benefits Black people, it benefits America. So her point was, if you do something that benefits Black America, you increase our GDP. That increases the GDP of the entire country. So what they did was they selectively edited that, which is what they do for many of the clips, to try to give a different
portrayal than what her remarks really meant. And I appreciated that part of her campaign was really normalizing rather than otherizing African Americans. You know, a big thing came out of Essence Festival where they said, oh, she got up there and she said, you know, I want to talk about the economy. I want to talk about this. And her point was,
those are our issues.
Those are our issues. Yeah. And so a lot of her talking points or her comments have been weaponized to really pull the okie doke on us. Yeah. You know, we've been bamboozled, and so many of us, like you said, people are cheering. And I saw a tweet that said, you know, woke Twitter so woke that we don't have any more black people in the race.
Yeah.
Well, we still have Cory Booker, let me be clear, Senator Cory Booker. But you don't know what you got until it's gone. And people didn't really appreciate what Senator Kamala Harris represented, that she is a trailblazing black woman trying to do the impossible. And now that voice is not going to be represented, then now it's like, oh crap, what did we do?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean
Rishi.
Yes, Kamala Harris is certainly here to stay. She's a force to be reckoned with, and she has been a trailblazer her entire career. Where I do have some disappointment is I think that some people stood on the sidelines hoping that maybe they could be selected for VP or they can get a cabinet position. And I think and I said this in one of my videos, we're setting the precedent with how we allowed Kamala Harris to be treated, and she was mistreated in many ways. Even Secretary Julian Castro said this. People that didn't stand with her have made it that much harder for them the next time, because that means that's one less stumbling block that was knocked over that she could have knocked over. And I agree with her dropping out now, there's going to be less of an impact than if people had really rallied behind her, if for no other reason, just for the historical aspect of it, to make it that much easier for the names people like to throw out, like Stacey Abrams or, you know, other people. Oh, I would support this black woman, just not this black woman. Well, that black woman is going to have it just as hard next time, because we did not take the stand we needed to take with Senator Kamala Harris. So I'm proud of her. I salute her. She's certainly not going anywhere, but I think that we collectively missed an opportunity to set a strong message about black women in leadership in this country.
Monique, final comment.
Right.